Welcome back to Module 4 in Writing for Creative Media 2. Now all students will take the Blackboard quiz in this module. So if you're writing a screenplay or if you're writing the corporate media script as your final project, you'll take the Blackboard quiz in this module. Now you need to review some material in chapters 12 and 15 in your textbook. Make sure you check Blackboard for more specific instructions about this assignment. But again, all students will take the Blackboard quiz in this module. Now, for those students who are working on a screenplay for your final project, we're going to talk a few minutes about conflict. Think about the movies that you watch. Think about the heroes and the villains in your movies. You know, it could be Darth Vader against Luke Skywalker. It could be you know, the bad guy coming into town and he meets the good guy, the sheriff, at high noon, and they have a duel. So there's some type of conflict that takes place, and conflict is the foundation of most narratives. Now, the conflict takes place between the protagonist, which is your hero, and the hero, your protagonist, is usually trying to achieve a goal. It could be the hero is trying to complete a journey. And so the hero or the protagonist runs into the antagonist, which is the villain or the obstacles that is attempting to prevent your hero from completing the goal or journey. Now then, your antagonist, it can be a person, it can be a monster, it can be a natural disaster like an earthquake or a tornado. If you like horror movies or scary movies, it could be some type of evil spirit. Or it could be an internal issue that your main character is battling. Maybe there's some type of internal turmoil that's taking place in your main character. Maybe your main character is having doubts about something that's preventing them from completing their goal or journey. So whatever it is, there's a variety of different things that the antagonist can be that can create that conflict with your hero. So what you need to do for this assignment is to write an essay discussing the conflict that takes place between the protagonist and the antagonist in your screenplay. Now, you need to be specific. Who is the hero and what is their goal or what is their mission? What is their journey that they're trying to accomplish? Who is the villain? Or what is the obstacle that your hero is having a conflict with? And what is the villain? What is their effort to try to prevent the hero from achieving the goal or the journey or the mission? And then finally, write about how your story, how that conflict is going to be resolved. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? So that's one thing you need to do for this assignment if you're writing a screenplay, is discuss the conflict between the protagonist and antagonist in your screenplay. Now then, I want you to imagine yourself as a producer or a director. Now, if you remember in a few modules ago, you wrote a pitch where you were trying to sell your idea about your project that you're working on. And so put yourself in the role of a producer and a director and pretend someone is coming to you with an idea or a project. And think about, you know, what you would consider if that project is worth the investment in time, in money, and energy. And so you need to write write an essay, I should say, discussing the things that you would consider if someone pitched an idea to you. What questions would you ask someone pitching that idea? Now, again, look at Blackboard for more details about this assignment. Now, for those students writing a corporate media script for their final project, we're going to be talking a little bit about interactive content. Now, obviously, you want content in your project, in your script, that is going to engage your audience. The last thing you want your audiences to do is to drift off or daydream or not pay attention to what your project is trying to achieve. And one way to do that is by providing some type of interactive content, I should say, to get your audience to engage. You know, just think about, you know, if you're a video game player, how engaged you are when you're interacting with the game that you're playing. And so what you need to do is review Chapter 6 and then write an essay with a brief description of your final project's communication issue. What are you trying to solve? What problem are you trying to solve, or what communication issue are you trying to address in your final project for your communication media script? Then describe how interactive content can be used with the corporate video that you're writing about. And describe how interactive content assists in alleviating the communication issue that you're addressing. Now then, if you're writing a corporate media script, if you decide to do this for a living, chances are you're going to be working for someone else. And so consequently, someone is paying you for that service. Someone is paying you to write that script to address that problem or issue. And so as someone is paying you, that customer needs satisfaction with that project that you're working on. They're paying you to perform a service, and the customer needs to be satisfied. Now, a client who is not satisfied could totally reject your idea, or totally reject your concept, or totally reject your script altogether. And let me tell you, that's bad news. So, how can you prevent complete and total rejection? Now, your client, your customer is going to have some input, obviously, and they may want to make some revisions, but you want to avoid complete and total rejection. So how would you do that? Well, you need to write an essay describing some steps that you could take to eliminate or at least minimize any major issues causing a client to be dissatisfied and reject your idea and script. As always, read the instructions for all the assignments very carefully and make sure that you check out the deadlines that are contained in Blackboard for all your assignments. Make sure that you use good grammar, good punctuation, and use the proper format. Now, I hope that you're making a lot of progress in writing your script, because a rough draft of that script is going to be due very soon. And as always, make sure that you check your A-State email account for any updates or any reminders about assignments that are coming up. So that's it for Module 4. We will see you next week in Module 5.